see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo?
Yes, yes, track 29.
Boy, you can give me a shine.
Can you afford to board Chattanooga choo-choo?
I got my fare
And just a trifle to spare.
Since I was a child, I've had many hobbies that have increased in their amount being an adult because I've been able to afford them and buying the stuff for making the collections bigger. The biggest inspiration for all this, with no doubt, was my father, who was a big stamps collector. He had many albums full of beautiful stamps, some very old, even from the 19th century, which are still at my mom's house in Ñuñoa and have become a family treasure. Now, let's start this trip telling you what I like to do in my free time, apart from practicing sports and spending time with my family.
Shim, sham, shake it up, baby. 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 It's the shim, sham, shake, so shake it on over to me. Shim, sham, shake it up, baby. 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 It's the shim, sham, shake, so shake it on over to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your DJ.
Cause this is daylight night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. You know it's daylight night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller tonight. You hear the door slam, realize there's nowhere left to run. You feel the cold.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me.
During my time at school, I found a love for music, especially the one of the 80s. At the age of 12 years in 1983, I got my first vinyl record, a present from my dad, which I still have, and is the one I've just shown to all of you. My music teacher used to say that I had no voice for singing, but my musical ear was excellent. He was right, in spite I love to sing, but I try to do it alone in order of not disturbing anybody. Have you ever heard of what happened to the cat which was mewing? he received a lot of shoes bad on his face. So I don't want to have the same experience. As I told you, my first vinyl record came to me in 1983, but at the beginning of the 80s, I already had a lot of cassettes, which I still keep as a musical treasure and sometimes I like to listen to. Although tapes had never been the best format to listen to music, but it's a nice way for remembering when I was a boy starting in this world of music lovers. At that time, I was in 8th grade, and my classmates decided to propose me as one of the DJs of the radio we all enjoyed a lot during the breaks, those mornings after Maths, Spanish, and even Latin, which priests loved to teach us, but no one ever understood a word. That's the way I learned how to play music at parties. I loved to dance and meeting girls, but my passion was always behind a turntable, and every time I had the chance to mix music, I certainly did. In the 90s, one of my first business was a record store in Providencia. We were in charge of bringing all the music to many discotheques here in Chile, where techno music at that time was fashionable and everybody loved to dance it. I remember the times I played in Tequila Paseo San Damián here in Las Condes, place where was also situated Universidad del Pacífico. At that time, this was part of my job, in order to show everybody the music that was being heard in Europe especially. And when I changed my line of work, I continued playing music, but now it became a hobby until these days. But with the pandemic, I decided to stop doing that and just dedicate myself to collect records as I've done for the last 38 years. The last time I played music was at Eve Discotheque in June 2019, where some friends and I were invited by its owner for an 80s and 90s party using only vinyl records, and this is a picture taken by my wife in that event. Now I play and listen to my records, but with earphones and in private at home. Including in my musical hobby, I have not only vinyl records, I have also CDs and cassettes. Could you believe that in the year 2022, I still like to listen to my tapes that I recorded in the 80s and 90s? How many CDs, vinyl records, and cassettes do I have? They all make a total of about 8,003 different ways of listening to music at home. I have to tell you that in my condition of being a DJ, I used a lot to make parties at home. This video belongs to one of those parties. They are some friends and ex-classmates of a workshop of English conversation I used to attend before the pandemic. That class was closed, but we are still very good friends. At the age of 7 years old, my mom invited my brothers and me to the cinema to watch a movie that was supposed to be for kids because there were many ships, robots, and a funny story. But nobody, including my own mother, could think that 43 years later, the boy who wanted to have a lightsaber would continue being a big fan of that science fiction movie. I have many stuff related to Star Wars that I bought during the years, but the most valuable of the collection are these models of the main characters of the movie that I didn't buy because in 1981 there was a brand of ice creams called Centella that rewarded children with characters from the movie if you ate the ice creams, of course. And well, I ate a lot. This collection, throughout the years, has become very valuable. Abroad, it's valued in dollars, but there is no money that can pay me for all the memories that it carries. And I really hope my kids will keep it the day I have to leave this world. I've always loved what is called the seventh art. During the 80s, I enjoyed a lot watching the movies I liked on the big screen and also at home using the old VHS that nowadays have become very expensive jewels for collectors all around the world. About 18 years ago, I started to collect movies on DVD and some years later on Blu-ray. Now I have almost 5,000 movies in both formats. You don't believe me? Watch this video and you will. And now I want to tell you all which are my favorite movies ever. Casablanca is a 1942 American romantic drama starring Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, and Paul Hanraid. It focuses on an American expatriate who must choose between his love for a woman or helping her and her husband, who is a resistance leader, escape from the city of Casablanca to continue his fight against the Nazis.
Steven Spielberg presents Back to the Future, a Robert Zemeckis film.
Back to the Future, a 1985 science fiction film. It stars Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Set in 1985, the story follows Marty McFly, a teenager sent back to 1955 in a time-traveling DeLorean car built by his scientist friend Emmett Doc Brown. While in the past, Marty prevents his future parents from falling in love and somehow get back to the future. Star Wars, a 1977 epic space opera film written and directed by George Lucas. It's the first film in the Star Wars film series, set a long time ago in a fictional universe where the galaxy is ruled by the Galactic Empire. The story focuses on a group of freedom fighters known as the Rebel Alliance, who aim to destroy the Empire's newest weapon, the Death Star. Fantasia is a 1940 animated music anthology film produced and released by Walt Disney Productions, the third Disney animated feature film. It consists of 8 animated segments set to pieces of classical music conducted by Leopold Stokowski, 7 of which are performed by the Philadelphia Orchestra.
It's for you, darling.
Oh, Jim dear.
Miss Lady, you have a collar. What a day.
Lady and the Tramp, a 1955 animated musical romance film produced by Walt Disney. Lady and the Tramp tells the story of a female American Cocker Spaniel named Lady who lives with a refined upper middle class family and a male straight man called Tramp. When the two dogs meet, they embark on many romantic adventures and fall in love. By the way, did you know that I have Lady and Tramp here at home? Look at this picture. Ghostbusters is a 1984 supernatural comedy that tells the story of 3 eccentric parapsychologists who start a ghost-catching business in New York City. When my brothers and me were children, my dad wanted us to develop some manual abilities in order to help us in sports and in our future lives. Eduardo, my eldest brother, was born with what is called muscle hypotonia. That is a medical term used to describe decreased muscle tone. Thanks God, he recovered from this with lots of physical exercises and rehabilitation, having a normal adolescency and mutual life. That's why my father started to buy planes and cars for us to assemble them. But my brothers were more interested in playing soccer a sport that I've never been so fond of. Instead, I love Universidad Católica team. Until my adolescence, I continued assembling many models, but most of them were destroyed by my eldest nephews when they were children. When I got married and my wife wanted to continue living in her house of childhood here in Las Condes, and I wanted to be close to my mom's place, we decided to build a second floor, and there it is what we call the games room, where my collections are being kept and my models have a very special place far from kids' hands. At that time, I decided to continue assembling models and fill the ceiling of this room with planes, as you can see in this video. It's a place where my friends like to be drinking some beers with me because I also have an electrical train. That's also a hobby I have since I was 8 years old. And they have told me, it brings many beautiful memories of our childhood when we used to play with the train I had at that time, and that now is a relic here at home. My wife, who's an architect, prepared this special room for me, and she was in charge of drawing the plan of the train that is used to know where the tracks will be. An electrical train is not a toy for kids because it's a very expensive hobby. Most of the people who are fond of having a train at home are in their 40s and 50s because they earn enough money to buy locomotives and all the accessories for the train. I had an uncle who passed away about 5 years ago, and he, at the age of 81 years old, had an electrical train he loved to play with. In Europe, there are museums and exhibitions of trains like this, especially in Germany. As you can see, I don't only use to assemble planes. I also have cars, tanks, trains, but I have a special predilection for vehicles that took part in World War II. That is because my father had friends who fought at that war. Even one of his best friends was a Scottish pilot of the Royal Air Force who was shot down for a German plane over the English Channel, and he was rescued, then underwent surgery, but was left with a very noticeable limp on his left leg, which accompanied him until his death. You know, in the 40s, there was not the technology medicine we have today. I'd like to show you all something very special. Maybe any one of you have heard about the tin soldiers. These are made by craftsmen who are specialized in working with this heavy material and make different kind of figures like the ones you're watching now. These were made by Luis Gutierrez, called Serreituk, who made the dioramas in many subway stations here in Santiago. I met him some years ago in an exhibition and spoke to him about the tin soldiers which my father had when he was young. He invited me to his workshop and I decided to buy some of his masterpieces, and here they are, kept as sacred bones and very far from kids, dogs, and anyone who could hurt them. My wife, since she was a girl, has been fond of assembling puzzles. There are lots of them at home that she's made through the years. It's a hobby that she's known how to teach all of us to share with her. My kids and I enjoy a lot with one of these real challenges and then trying to find an empty wall in this house to put on it as a picture. Here you can see some of them, especially about places we visited and enjoyed a lot. Okay, after this long trip for more than 40 years of my life, it's time for saying goodbye, to say thanks to all of you, especially to Kiki for giving me this wonderful opportunity to show all of you which are my favorite hobbies since I was a child, to share with you some of my most beloved and valuable things. Okay, now I will take my time machine. I will take my time machine and I return to the future to our English classes. Is bye for now and see you soon.